Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Another fun-filled day. Is today Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Okay, so I was going to say it's Happy to Hump Day, but it's not Happy to Hump Day. And so let's get the J4X going. Normally I have all this stuff going, but I got tangled up in looking at something, and it just swallowed me up. Quantum biology. Quantum biology. Uh, anyway, so let's see what's going on here. What do we got here. It's loading now. Let's go over to here. There's ours. Right there, like that. Let's put the Swiss franc up there. There goes the Swiss. You can see it's trying to back off a little bit. Nothing major. Got a couple green dots going, and you can see the white line has hit the top of the time manifold there, and it's starting to head back down again. It's so tight anyway. It didn't climb up this high yet. So we'll see. And then at the same time, this is probably the pressure that's giving it issues. It's not able to really get going there. Let's see. There we go. There you go. Swiss FX markets. It is Dukascopy and Swiss Bank. And Turkish Lira, what are they doing to that poor thing again today? Doc has taken the attitude for a long while now. I mean, I don't know, a couple years, that this is a government plan. Yesterday we talked about it a little bit more in depth, thinking that this is truly the Turkish Lira is. This is what they want. They want to devalue their currency so that they can try to generate buyers. It's kind of like a Chinese thing, I think, really. But we'll see. So in other words, they want to be the China of the Middle East. Let's put the Swiss in there now, right there. And as you can see here, same thing. Swissy is just kind of flattish with a little green action going there, just like we have two green dots. It's starting to go green here. You can see the white line is piercing through these two other indicators that we follow. It's relative. Hey, everybody. Let's see. Buenos Aires. Hey, how you doing? ¿Qué pasa? Let's see. Ferris, hello to you. I am simply not able to find any real trading opportunities this week. I want to say it is truly a sloppy market. I think that said that yesterday, didn't I? No, who was it? It was IVBB. We were chatting during the trading day, texting, and he was saying the same thing to me, and I was like, this market's really sloppy anyway. It's really sloppy. I keep on expecting them. This is the profit taking of the Trump victory. They're doing it like weeks ahead of time now. Ever since the Biden laptop came out and the Bidens were caught. Excuse me as I take a sip of my tea. I think that the markets have interpreted that as Trump is definitely winning. Now the question is, if he ends up with a House and a Senate, the markets could go totally through the roof. So now let's see, how the markets go. Green FX, how are you? Hello. So, Ramirez says, I got to turn the translator on for you. Let me see if I can figure out, where's the translator at? I had the translator up on one of the machines all the time. I think it's on the machine that we do the webinars on now. And so I'm reading the chat line on another machine. But let's see. Excellent. Glad things are moving along. I'm still trying to answer Ferris's question, really, and that is it is a sloppy market, and it's really hard to want to trade it. It's more of an intraday opportunity, I guess you could say. That's the way it looks to me. Nothing more than that. And I've been saying for now 14 days. As I said to IVB yesterday. It was 13 days, and I said that in the webinar. The profit taking has been going on for 13 days. Now it's 14 days, and they'll do a little bounce up, and then what'll happen is they'll probably sell a little bit more that type of thing. And again, I think we're in my mind now they're waiting 7 days from now to see if we take all these House seats. We do that and keep the Senate, and then it's off to the races. It could be one incredible. I'll tell you a story, and the story is really about World War One. World War One was starting to evolve, it was getting ready to go, and the United States was getting very nervous. They were concerned that investments were going to be pulled from the United States. Money, the old Wall Street guys and all like that. I remember talking with one old guy that, was like in his 80s at some New York Stock Exchange thing when I was in my 20s, and he was telling me that, that they were totally fearful. He was a runner or a clerk or something like that back then. He was a kid. He was like 16 years old on the floor. And they were all concerned about World War One. They thought, oh my God, the Europeans are going to go to World War One, and they're going to just want to walk away from us, and America's going to be like stuck doing nothing for a bunch of years until they figure it all out. And then, as World War One started, instead of money leaving the United States, money poured in, gold poured in, and I remember the old guy saying that gold's been sitting down there in the basement ever since. And so I think that we're going to go through that phase again here, where as much as there's no doubt that the world is nowhere near as balanced as it was pre-World War One, financially. Now the United States is the center of the financial universe. And before it wasn't really the center of the financial universe. You had many places that money was being invested at and from, major old centers of capital being, sent to them. And so Wall Street and America thought, oh my God, they get World War One going and we're going to lose all the investors and we're going to be just all by ourselves again. And instead it happened the other way around. We became the center of the universe because all of a sudden we became like Switzerland. They thought, oh, well, the United States is not in World War One. We can plow our money there. We don't have to worry about it. We can leave our gold there, or silver and so forth. And I would say that we're probably coming up on that World War One boom again. If Mr. Trump takes the House of Representatives and the Senate, and it looks very clearly that he'll win the Electoral College already. So if that all happens and plays out, then I would say that what you're seeing now is them taking it down to take it up. And that's what the old guys used to say at the New York Stock Exchange. I would have to say that the old guys at the New York Stock Exchange were probably the most literate of concepts. In other words, when I mean by literate, they would tell us stories that made sense and how, that all of a sudden went, oh, is that why the market does that? Or, oh, now I understand why the market does that. That type of thing. So that's where we are. All right, let's get Doc out of his memory lane and let's get him moving back into work. Come on, Doc, get back to work. So you can see here the dollar seems to be firming up a little bit. You can see it right there, just a little, nothing major. We can go jump over unless anybody wants to see anything. I'll throw up the euro there real quick. And there's the euro. You can see there, euro is trying to bounce up also, which is totally the opposite. Normally you would think it'd be going down. If the Swiss is going up. But it's not. They're both going up in a direction, except for the euro is much stronger at it. And then let's put it up in here on the J4X. There it is. I just saw it. I just passed by it. There we go. Greetings from Switzerland. Greetings to you. I like that. I didn't realize you were from Switzerland. Cool. Boy, I love your central bank. I think your central bank is so together. I did webinars on your central bank 4 months ago. I'm chewing on an apple now and drinking my tea. Oh my God. The Swiss central bank is managed by a bunch of smart people. Oh my God. It really is. They doubled down when all that volatility selling was going on. Beautiful. Just beautiful. I mean, they're making income for you. I mean, let's put it this way: if central banks now are supposedly investors, which they are, It doesn't mean that they're good investors, but they're investors. And so I can say this: the Swiss National Bank is the renaissance, like Jimmy Simon Fund, when it comes to central banks. There's no doubt about it. They know what they're doing there at that central bank, and they're very impressive with it. And they publish their portfolio, and you can see how much they've invested. As a matter of fact, I have it bookmarked around here somewhere. I have it all stored away even. Um, so yeah, I'm really always impressed. That's probably like a slice of the reason I'm with Dukascopy still. It's a combination of the kids in Latvia and how they've treated me and give me an opportunity to voice my ideas and memory of history and my experience in trading for 40 years, and the people in Switzerland who have supported it, at the Swiss bank itself. And so I'm always I always enjoy having doing the webinar every day because I like Swiss bank, and I like the people at Dukascopy in Latvia. They care about the markets. So I'm a rah-rah for you guys. All right, so there we go. And if you notice lately, I've made the Swiss franc my entering screen. In other words, when we look at a chart coming in, we look at the Swiss because the Swiss really does. Let me go back to it real quick. Let's see, where's it at? There's the euro. But let's go back to the Swiss again. The Swiss really does emphasize what the dollar is doing more than anybody else. There's no doubt about it. And so I think that's a very positive thing there. All right. So where were we? We were looking at euro. We can jump over to cable. But I'm hoping that someone says, hey, let's look at X, and then we can go look at it. Because I like surprises. I like to look at different products. And, it's always fun when someone says, hey, can we look at this? And then we all get a chance to experience something new, which is really cool. And you never know, you might find a trade. I've noticed that over the years. Sometimes I go like, damn, I got to get options on that. I got to get in a position there. I've thought about that. I'm serious. I have thought about that. Let's put it this way, if I was going to pick pick up something outside, yeah, that would be the place to go at this point. Especially on that tropical side of it. There's that side where you get the warm air. I like that. So yeah, I hear you, and I agree. All right, yeah, then I could do my broadcast from Switzerland. Hey, maybe I could become like I could talk like an Australian in some aspects and be like, they're my mates at the Swiss bank. That would be cool. That would be cool. All right, let's see. What do we got going on here? So you can see cable kind of a little sloppy. It's trying to move down. But again, we are. And what do we have? We have one of the charts up there. What was it? One of the charts. I saw it earlier. It was one of the currency charts that we have the election marked off now. So it's getting really, really close. We're getting very close to the election. And we're going to get that thing over with. And we're going to be very happy about it all. So, let's see. Anybody want to see anything in particular? Yep, there we go. I'm waiting to see if anybody wants to look at anything in particular, and then we can go do that. What we can do is while I'm waiting, I'll go take a look at the Turkish Lira again, because you can see that's pumping up. I think they've picked up another 7 handles to 815. I think yesterday was like 807 or 808 or 809, something like that. And we don't have our fact check spreadsheet up there. Where are you hiding? Right there. It's one of those things that, let's see where it is. Scroll that down. Yeah, I almost went to. What I almost went to a couple times was what's that thing? Davos. I went to Davos. Almost went to Davos a couple times, but I didn't go. I just wasn't in the mood. Then things kind of changed in 2008, 2007, and I definitely didn't want to go to Davos then for sure. At one time, I was almost willing to go to Davos, and I had some friends that had something going on there, and kind of. I wasn't real happy. I'm not real happy to be with that environment. So I just kind of blew it off. But you know what? it in some ways, you know, I could see myself spending some time in Switzerland. There's no doubt about that. All right. So there's the Turkish lira. Do I have it up on this too? No. Let's put it up on this. And there's the Turkish lira there. And oh, and let's look over to. Oh yes, you're short. Ferris is short dollar yen. Let's check that out because it tried to go into the buy yesterday, but failed. I think that's what it did. It tried to go into the buy and failed. And there's the Turkish lira. You can just see it flying to the moon. Fly me to the moon, upon the stars. There you go. There's the yen. You can see the yen's trying to break down again. See, we had the red and the green here. See that right there? So it held it back, and I had a little green line for the Chicago Quant website. You know, we were on the edge, but the green line was up here. I put it, not down here, of confirming, you know, how it was close to doing it. And then this morning it just knocked it back down again. Let's go over to J4X and show that too. Right there. Whoa, that looks even better. And you can see that's being pushed down, and you can see all the red there, and you know, you can see our red and green here. Where is it at? Right there, the red and green. Same, wrong mouse. Let's do this mouse. Right there, the red and the green. You can see that. So pressure's on it. Short seems right now. Are you short? I'm always confused because remember, I'm looking at it through the way you guys are looking at it. And so, like, you're short it at, let's say, let's just give a generic number here. It's trading at 10. Look at the J4X. So it's trading at 104.66. You'll make money if it goes to 104.64, say, right? So that's how you're short in this way. You know, in the United States, we follow it totally the opposite. It drives me totally bonkers. Very hard. Saying I'm sure. I am currently selling and scalping cable. Yeah, we can tune in some cable. Want me to tune in some cable? Good. All right, so at least it still pressure's there. You can see this too far. For us, you can see this. You know, the weekly. No, you can't see that. Let me go like this. You can see it right here. You can see the weekly has had its issues. It's tried and keeps on rolling over. So the pressure is still on. Maybe we'll get another one of these out of it. I don't know. You know, I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of it down, you know, but, you know, I mean, obviously something. Normally when the dollar goes down, this goes down too at the same time. So, you know, there could be more pressure there hiding out there, and you can see the way it hit the time manifold there yesterday. Let's widen that a little bit. And then from there, we're going to jump over to the cable, and we're going to try to take a look at some shorter term stuff. You want to look at some shorter term stuff on cable? We can do that. Let's see. I am currently scalping GBP USD. Let's see what we saw the daily. And you can see the daily on the cable right there. You can see it. You know, yesterday it went into the sell and it made just a little bit of a low here, and then it lifted up and it's got a red dot still going, and this is trying to bounce. Again, I don't think there's a lot. You know, I would say this, traders, one thing for sure is when you have a profit, take the bloody thing. You know, at least take half of it, because, you know, this market is short-lived, and it's thin. It's very thin in participation. So follow-throughs may not necessarily be out there. And you want and you're short the euro too, right? Let's see, is that right? Yeah. Oh no. Okay, yeah. And so then, all right. Let me see if we can find a shorter-term cable too for you, just for the fun of it, like an hourly or something like that. Where are you? Right there. And I can close that too. I don't need that anymore. Close. And let's see, we got that. We got this. Okay, let's see if right in here. So there's the 1 hour gold. So we can put it up there. Where's that? 1 hour gold. I know you follow 1 hours and 4 hours, right? So we can go put cash in there for cable. Right there. There it is. This will fill in fast because hours fill in fast. See how many days back we're going on this thing too. 50. Go back 30. That's plenty, just to get you where you want to be. When is that going? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see how that fills in on an hourly. Matter of fact, while we're doing that, why don't we throw the 4 hour in there too? Because I know you follow the 4 hour on things. And for a real quick look for everybody, that is gold on the 4 hour with our work. And let's change the product there too. GBP. There we are. And then let's go back to the hourly. Hour still isn't filled in. Let's do this. We'll shorten it down a little bit more. Still nothing. Let's try one more time. Let's see. And we'll go check out the hourly one, see what that one's doing, 4 hourly one. That's also filling in. I want to see the instrument where it's at. So let's bring it down to 9. Oh, there it is. Okay, we got 16. All right, so you can see here, there's been some strength over the hourly. It's trying to lift up, and now it looks like it's breaking down. Now, what time is it now? We got 6 minutes to the next bar. This thing could actually close and start breaking down like this. We had 3 green dots there, and then it started to break down again. In this case here, it went down, pretty good, smooth move. That was in the Asian hours, Sunday night. And you see here, this thing, once it starts breaking the time manifold, it does see pressure. In this case here, it started throwing green dots, but it kept on dropping. And then and then the momentum, notice how it never really broke the zero line itself. Let's see, and then and we'll go to the euro from there. If any guys want to see what the euro looks like on an hourly and 4 hour too. And there's the 4 hour cable. You can see the cable's trying to break down too. You can see it's been strong, I guess, since what is that, Sunday night? Because it's 4 hours, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 is 16 and 20. So 20 hours ago would be Monday morning at like Swiss opening time, the London Swiss opening time period, right around there. Excuse me. So you can see this is trying to break down on the 4 hour just as much as the 1 hour, like that. Now we'll see. Some of these breakdowns have been kind of good. Excuse me. The T went the wrong way on that. All right. Let's put the euro in there and see how the euro looks on the same situation. And there's the euro against the dollar. We'll go put it in the 4 hour too. Right there. There we go. Now let's go back to the hourly. Still not filled in yet. We'll give it a few seconds. But you can see this hourly has made a nice little V bottom. And we'll see if it turns into, like, this looks like some type of ABC action. This is interesting here. The reverse head and shoulders, which seems to be failing. Let's see if we can contract this a little bit more like that. And the end result is it's showing that strength. And when we go over to the daily, let's see where to find the daily. That's a cable. And there's the daily there. You can see that momentum that's been going on the upside here for like 6 days. Now let's go over to the hourly again. Not there. There. Okay, there we go. So there's the 1 hour. Let's widen that out for you. You see it's trying to lift through up. So this one here gave us a green dot and up, but it wasn't through the zero line. Now it's cleanly through the zero line. And moving along very firm there. That's why I have a problem with hourlies and 2 hours and 10 minute stuff. That lags, whereas a tick chart is so much more informative, And then let's take a look at the 4-hour. Now the 4-hour is kind of like looking at a fast intraday, a daily in a sense, you know. You can see here it's trying to turn back up again. We'll see if it gets any life out of it. You know, it does seem to trend. You know, there does seem to be some trends there on the 4-hour charts. And in this case here, the trend was down, and now it tried to get going. There's a red dot. Maybe that might be the red dot like there, where it was trying to get going, fails, and then takes off again. So the next couple hours could be showing strength here, especially looking at the white line breaking through the 0 line and trying to climb up and maybe go after the time manifold in here. So that is the very short-term analysis of the euro there. If you would like to see anything else, just let me know. I mean, you know, a different time reference or frame or a different product, I'm ready and able at your desire to do. And then what I'll do is I will go back to the daily for a second. Just take a look at that there. And let's look at it in the J4X too. See what they're doing with it in J4X. Right there. And you can see J4X, it looks like it's trying to roll over. You can see the white line starting to break up a little bit there. Whereas on our work right now, our white line is moving up through the time manifold there. So a little interesting divergence going on there. And I guess because we're getting a red and a green dot at the same time, I'm going into one of those volatility vortexes. So combine those two things together, and we'll see if it survives. Let's just refresh that too. Like that. Yep, still holding there. So we'll see. Some type of action might be coming there, which would take the euro up. I kind of think the dollar wants to go down, really. I do. Because I think the stock market wants to go through the roof over the next 3-4 weeks. So, you know, I think Mr. Trump's going to get himself a House and a Senate. And not counting the fact that I think he's definitely going to win the Electoral College. I think that is almost a foregone conclusion. Especially now with Mr. Biden basically showing his true colors. I mean, for some of us who have been in... Remember, I was a professional politician, you know, for a long while. And so I understand the game a lot differently than most people do. People vote for, you know, what people say. You know, they don't exactly vote for what they do. They vote for what they say. And so I follow politics through what people do, not what they say. And so that's a whole different game, and I don't blame the population. You know, it's just the way it is. But Mr. Biden has been saying a lot of pretty words and a lot of things that satisfy a lot of people. But what he's done over 47 years is not exactly matching to the words. So that's why I think that what I'm reading about the election is a little bit more precise than what you're reading in the newspapers. All right, let's see. That was the euro. So now what do? We go over to Canadian, unless someone wants to see something. There's Canada. Canada slipped into the daily buy there yesterday, as you can see on the fact check spreadsheet, line 20, right there. 1 day in a buy and 1 week in a sell. Obviously, this thing is making a lot of noise. I kind of think this wants to go down, the Canadian, myself. And you can see here the time manifold has been totally pierced and is driving hard, and they got plenty of room. They could bring it down to here. You know, I mean, they could. They got plenty of room to take it harder, you know, on the downside there. Let's see what it looks like on J4X. Right there, 131.79s are offered. It's a down candle. White line is still piercing up. It's trying. It's got a little green going on in there at the same time, just like ours does. And so, matter of fact, it has 2 greens going on yesterday and today. So it's doing the same gig there with the Hinky Ashy, which is kind of neat. And you can see, whereas you can see the white line is going up on the daily, just like our white line is up on, our daily. Ours is rolling over. It is still trying to, get some legs on the upside there. All right. What is next, traders? Anybody care to see anything? If not, I will go to... Where do I go from here? I know what I usually do. I do the NASCAD. Because then we'll jump right over to the commodities into oils. Unless someone wants to see a currency. Let's see. NASCAD right there. NASCAD showing strength, which is curious. That usually means that the Canadian should be going down and oil should be firmer today. That's what that usually means right there when we see that. So let's do this. We'll go to J4X and throw crude oil up there and see what it's doing. That's that sweet West Texas Intermediate. There we are. Looks like it's pretty much unchanged, but it looks like it moved up at one point. And then we'll slide over to our work and see what it looks like there. Let's see, right there. Ooh, lots of red there, isn't it? So it's still not getting going. Right there, there it is in our work. And we'll just give you a view there. You see it's having its issues. We are clearly down here, and you can see the time manifold has been pierced firmly right there. That's why we even have that cute little circle there. Let's see, who is chatting in? Oh, that's so nice. It's her birthday. There we are. And so we can see here, crude oil is pressing down. Normally, crude oil likes to go up with the NASCAD, so that's kind of curious. And we'll see how that plays out, you know, over the next. And so, you know, basically, I knew that what you really see here in the end result is the oil itself. You know, you would assume if the economy is going to boom, this is trying to put a bottom in, and it does look like a big reverse head and shoulders here. Right there. Right there. That looks like a nice reverse head and shoulders. So maybe what they're going to do is they're going to build a base and take off. Canadian will go down over the next month or so. This will go up. And let's see, one other one like that. And the stock market will go up. Maybe that's how it's all going to play out in the end. So what we have here is we have a world economy basically on hold. I think that's the best way to describe it at the moment. There isn't much opportunity at the moment because it's more of an intraday game going on, and you know, nervousness, and you got your classic news reports, saying things. And so what it really comes down to, is that you have to take profits very fast. And that's where we are. I don't think I have much more stronger opinion than that. Now we could go and look at the metals, and you would assume, if I'm right, to some extent, you know, you can say inflation is on one hand, and then security is on another. So let's take a look at gold, and you can see gold is kind of flatlining with the rest of this stuff. You know, I mean, there's all-time highs, and then it in the dollar, that is, and then you can see here it's been kind of taking a big long break since August, since the all-time highs. You know. And I don't know if we're going to get it. You know, that's an ABC also possibly, and could be turning up. Right now, we just read the work. You know, I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Is we watch our quantitative action, you know, our math, and go from there. You know, since it was in the buy here, in the starting off in the what was that, the 1600 area basically. They ran at almost 21. Was it 21? 2081, something like that. So it was like this buy was an incredibly great buy. It was a $400 gain from it in gold. You can see how it would slide in and out, you know, in the dailies, but overall it was very impressive. And so you can see here now it's been doing its correcting thing since here, and it started it there with our daily sell up in here. Had somebody from one of the people who follow the webinars jumped in and like was like texted me like Sunday evening, Doc, I'm short your daily sell and the thing has collapsed. What should I do? I said take 50% of your profits. and then, and sure enough, it was like $4 or $5 away from that bottom and or $3 of that bottom, and it just worked its way back up again. But you can see it was it was a wonderful trade for that individual trader. And I was like, wow, you're really gutsy out there. I hope you did it in options. And I was like, no, I'm just short the futures. It's like, good for you. You're brave. So I guess they knew they always could contact me. So I guess a lot of you contact me during a trading day, here or there. I have no problem with that. If I have time, I will answer. If I'm even looking, I've got so many screens in front of me that sometimes I don't see it for a while. Like IVB, I didn't see the message for 50 minutes before I saw it. Then I start answering it, So, and then after that, I get chatty. Doc starts responding to anything at some point or another. But you can see it here. 3 weeks now in a sell, and it hasn't really gone anywhere. This is the third week now, just the second day of the third week. So not a lot of action there. Now let's take a look at silver. Silver looked like it was trying to do something, but look how tight that is. I mean, all these things are really becoming tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, I mean, they really are. They don't seem to be, again, it's the election. We are now officially under 7 days away from the start of the election physically. The last day of the election, because, you have a lot of early voting, which another fascinating thing is all that early voting has gotten people upset because there's a lot of people. Supposedly the most number one Googled thing right now is how to change your vote. A lot of people have buyer remorse about voting for Biden. So there is a lot of people out there who want to cancel their Biden vote and they want to go back to the Trumper. And they're trying to figure it out. I said to one person, it doesn't really matter, but you could always claim that you didn't send it in and say, I don't know that, and then vote provisional. So, I mean, that's I mean, if they have it in hand, what the hell? So, that could be it, or it negates out, and this way you're not voting for Biden. You may not be voting for Trump, but you're not voting for Biden. And so that's the number one Google thing right now is how do you change your vote? People are all over the place hunting to try to change the vote. With 7 days left, that has to be even more of a guarantee that there's going to be a lot of positive support for Mr. Trump going into those last days. That could really tip a lot of the House and Senate deeper into Mr. Trump's direction than we were expecting. So, alrighty. Let's see. What else can we take a look at while we're over here in the metals complex? We did gold, silver, and crude oil. Let's take a look at platinum. Platinum had that nice big drop, but still holding up in the daily buy. The weekly is got into the weekly buy last week off of the spike, but it's doing a horrible job, and it's been in a weekly buy since here. So, and it was like almost at the beginning, I guess, right here somewhere. So I guess literally by the last day or Thursday, it got through there. So this is a definite bummer right there. Weekly buy, daily buy, and then they topped this poor thing out with a crazy gap of about $30 or $20. It's trying to lift up again today, as you can see right there. Let's widen out a little bit more. And you also got the volatility signal kicking out, just like it did there. So just like it did there too. Any more of them? There was one there at the beginning of that move. So there's a good chance. And then there's one right there at the end of this selling thing. It did it. And at the beginning of this selling thing, the third day into it, it gapped up, sold down from the volatility thing. So, and that one there too. It was rolling down and went into the daily buy the day later and tried to climb up. So we have a couple of divergences, just like in the movies. Divergences. That's where we're at now. Divergence. And that's what we look at. It's that relative thing. We're always looking at divergence. That's how Doc flies. And now, let's see, where else are we? What else can I say about this, about that? Let's see. Divergence. Let's see. Let's go with... We're out of the metals. Oh, you know what? Since someone's been following copper, so I've been filling it in. Let's take a look at copper. We'll go through all 4 metals today. And you see, where is it? We're in a sell from this point right there. It's sold down, and now we are getting, let's refresh that. We're getting a red dot there. So we're getting a red dot. Is it a red and a green dot? Nope, just a red dot. And you can see, look at the weekly though. The weekly's been firm out of this whole move. Been very happy. Caught this one. You know, it made up for this crazy one over here I was telling you about over and over again. It was one of the weirder things I've seen the charting thing do over time. It happens once in a while, but it always makes the money back. So you never sweat it. Just keep on following the math, following the leader, and that leader is the math. Following the quant math. As long as you keep on following the quant math, things work out usually pretty well. And that is usually the best of the best. That's the best way to go. And that is probably the perfect example of one moment it goes totally awry, and next moment it gets its act back together again, and bang, bang. And that's where we are right now. Oop, not there, there. And done. Zoom. All right. So we've done all 4 metals. And I guess one philosophical, fundamental point of view about the copper is that that's the industrial metal more than anything else. So everybody's probably thinking like Trumpy's going to get the economy exploding, and they'll need the metals again. So maybe that's why we keep on seeing firmness. The copper is trying to tell us that it's come from the 240 area, 230 area, something like that. Let's see if we can scroll this over a little bit more. Just, yeah, scroll it over. Yeah, so, it got down to 210 or something like that. Now it's going up 33%. And, it caught, look at that buy back there. That was a good buy, wasn't it? Drove it from the... What is that? That's the 230s area to 235, 236, 237. And it ran all the way up to here, which was $3. What a nice... And then it gave us that sell signal. And then it tried to lift again. And that's where the craziness was kicking in. Because the money was probably pouring in saying, OMG, the economy's going to explode. And then, it went down, came here, and then you can see it got through the time manifold, and it was showing strength here at the same time. But look at the daily. That was one of the weirder things. We talked about it. We showed you. In other words, I show you, most of the time when we're looking stuff, all we see is victories. But once in a while, that's at 8.5 out of 10, right? This is the 1.5 right here, where, we're getting sell signals, and the white line is, it's widened that. Right there, there's that 1.5. It gives you the sell signal, and it refuses. It finally comes back to it right there at the most extreme. And then, at the same time, the white lines finally lift through the minus time manifold. Still minus, though. But it drives it to the weekly. And then, you start to get some real positive action here, because they obviously want to take this thing up. The money knows that it wants to go up, not down. Middle age! What's happening? ¿Qué pasa? Doc, could you look at deck wheat? Hell yeah, I can look at deck wheat. I can look at anything you want. Anything you want to see, I'll talk about. Doc is just like, it's like standing on the side of the pit when it's quiet. That's what Doc's webinars are all about. It's like me standing on the side of the pit pontificating. And let's see, let's go find you deck wheat. Open sesame. Right there. Right there. The Robin 2. That's what it is. Robin Combo 2. All right. And there is beanies. And there's deck wheat. It's really tightening up also. And it was in a sell. Wait a minute, what's that green line doing there? Let's widen this out and see what that means. Did we really get in that buy? I guess we did. We must have gotten a plus. Did we get into the plus? Oh yeah, look at that. Plot 1 was 0.00. And plot 4 was 0.00. Even plot 5 was 0.00. I guess because it was in a weekly buy, and it got through the 0 line. I threw the green line in there, but the next day, that was yesterday. Okay, yeah. And so it's rolled over again, yeah. And so, but we're still in that weekly buy here. We'll see what they do with this. And that's the deck wheat. After that, it's been pretty good, you know. That was a good buy, and that was a good get out of your long good buy, and that was another good buy. And let's see, that was a good. It was barely anything. That was sloppy. So I guess there was the buy there, and then a weekly buy, and you got that ride there. Let's see, what else can we say about that? It looks pretty good, actually, doesn't it? Deck wheat. How about if we look at this one too? Let's look at the red wheat. I always like that. We have March red wheat. We're disseminating to some people, right there. This is March red wheat, like the Kansas City wheat, and you can see the same type of characteristic too. Let me just see if we can go back to the deck real quick. Yeah, see, they're both doing that same thing. And let me go back to red wheat again. And then it's a little bit smoother the back months. You know, it goes into a sell, it goes into a buy. It's much more chill. Goes into a sell, more chill. Goes into a buy. Nice move there. Goes into a sell. Kind of goes nowhere on that one. Look at that. Bing, 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 bing. Looks like ducks just waiting to be shot. And then goes into a buy. Nice. Goes into a sell. Okay. It's nice and smooth. And now we're getting a volatility thing out of that. Are we seeing a volatility on the deck one? Let's see. No, we're not seeing a volatility on the deck one. Last volatility signal was right there before that move. So, how's that, Middle Age? Is that pretty cool or what? We get a chance to really dissect what's going on there. Spring wheat is looking just as firm as the winter. The last crop, you know, late crop, past crop, whatever you want to call that. Wheaties. The Wheaties. You know, was it Swiss has, what do they have? Dukascopy has beans. Let's see, where are the beans? They have beans on here. They don't do wheat, but they do beans. Let me see if I can find it. There's bonds. They do soybeans. Soybeans, where are you? I know I've seen it. There it is, soybeans. See it right there. There's soybeans. Boy, they're really heading for $11 a bushel, aren't they? And let's see what beans are looking like here, just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. Same kind. Well, oh yeah, look at that. It's been in a weekly buy even longer than the Wheaties, I think. What's the spreadsheet say? Now, you know, that's interesting. Spreadsheet says 10 weeks. Right here, you see that line 4. 10 weeks in a weekly buy. Soybeans are 9 weeks, and corn is 11 weeks. So, and the buys have been, you know, really interesting in the beans. You can see it right there. It really trends. And then, you know, a little sell-off there for that. And then a buy there again. A little sell-off there, not much. And it's actually been in a buy even with that craziness, because look at that with the beans. We had a green dot. So I couldn't. The next day I had the red line in there ready to go up top here. You know, okay, this thing's going to go back down again. And what does it do the next day? It goes back up again. So it, you know, even that couldn't even, look at it, blew through the time manifold the whole bit. But it really didn't lose any price action. It was fascinating. You can see there, it closed there. Let's see if we can put one of those big, let's see if we can do this. Put that in there so you can see it. We'll make it white too. Look at that. And I mean, it didn't really go down at all. Just the math did. And then it took right back off again. So remember, these stupid gaps are the Friday or something like that. What is that? The Friday, is it? Yeah, it's the Friday, which drives me bloody crazy. It's the way the way we're dragging in the data, when you see here, and our settings, we have it as a 24/7 session, and so it messes that up. So it puts that stupid gap in there on the Fridays. It drives me crazy. Must be some type of time thing. But anyway, there's the beans too at the same time, looking at the wheat. So you can see, let's see what else we got going on here. Guess that's about it. What else can we look at here? Let's go back to the commodities. Let's look at the stock market. See what that's doing. The NQs are trying. Oh, and this is the one that has the line there. That's the election day. No, that's the day after. So this is the election day. That's the Wednesday after the Tuesday election day. So, look how close we are now. It's coming to an end. And you can see here it's trying to lift up, but not too good. And this is all the profit taking. As much as the market was down, it's not really going after these big lows here. It's going to be, chances are this is going to be a higher low. Matter of fact, they're not even able to take that low out. Now let's take a look at that on the S&Ps, not the silver, S&Ps. S&Ps, they tried a little bit to get down there. Look at that, but it's still higher. That's a higher low. And so that's what's going on there, It's they're trying. We'll see. I myself take the old attitude from the old New York Stock Exchange. They take them down so they can take them up. So they'll be, they'll take them down, I don't know, what, couple hundred handles on the S&Ps, and then what they'll do is they'll run them up like 500 handles on the upside, trap the shorts. They had a very impolite way of describing that, which I am not going to do, but they used to say bull markets are best when they trap the shorts, and they had a much more colorful way of describing that, but in the end result they are right. When the shorts are trapped, look how volatility exploded. Let's go back to back here in March, when they took the product down from the S&Ps down from the was that like the 3,300 area, almost 3,400, right? And took it all the way down to the 2,200. So you lost 30% of the S&P 500, more than 30, like 33% of the S&P 500. And this was all because volatility funds were short of volatility. And they had made billions. There were 5 funds out there selling the daylights out of option volatility, being short volatility. And they were crushing it. I mean, they were crushing it. Daniel, coming in at the end, are you now? Sorry that it was DST off means that the show is an hour earlier. Oh, yeah, we get daylight savings time starting this weekend for us, too. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you there. So the volatility funds, were trapped. And the billions that they made, they gave it back up, and then they lost billions from there. They're not going to have a hard time getting a job. Yeah, isn't that something? We had let's throw it up there for you so you can see it. We're coming towards the end anyway. Let's see, where is it at? Right there. Let me just close this one. There we are. And there is the Turkish Lira right there. When you go over to our spreadsheet, oh my God, what is it? Line 17. The fact check spreadsheet. 3 days in a buy, 47 weeks in a buy. My God, 47 weeks. 47 weeks. I mean, come on. I guess that they got that government policy all figured out. They're going to drive this thing down in value until there is no value. I guess the people will be able to come in and invest in Turkey. And what happens if they don't show up because they don't like the policies? I don't know. Hopefully the policies are being prepared to satisfy the money. I guess Turkey wants to be the next Cyprus. I guess that's the only way you can look at it, something like that. And so you can see here, Turkish Lira, to the moon, baby, and beyond. Infinity and beyond. Good old Buzz Lightyear. All right, what else can we look at or talk about? Oh, Turkish people buy gold. Well, yeah, I don't blame them there. I wonder what the I don't. Can we even get a quote of spot gold in Turkish lira? I wonder what that's like. Oh my god, that must be like catastrophically high. I can't even imagine what that must be like. That's got to be really expensive. And that seems to be the way it's going too. Is uh, the it's funny. It took us a long while to catch up. I mean, the dollar was so strong for the last couple of years that we were not getting we weren't getting that action. We were it took a long while for the gold market to go to all time highs here in the states. You want to see them real quick before we run? I got a couple of minutes, so I can do that still. Here. Let's see. Let's close this. Which one is that? Yeah, let's close that. And I can show you those. Amazon and BABA. We do have a fact check spreadsheet on that too. Open and right there. There it is. Let's see. Let's do that. And there is Amazon. You can see this morning. This is live, so you can see Tesla's trying to get into a daily buy. You can see the weekly went into a weekly sell after like 20 some odd weeks, but it's let's see if we can go back and find the weekly on that. That's Tesla, just for the fun of it. There it is, back in April, and so it went into a weekly sell, and now it's already trying to do something there. We'll see. But here is Amazon. Amazon had the volatility signal yesterday, and it's climbing up today. And you can see our weekly is trying to get into a sell from, that was the last weekly sell, like right there. And then there it went back into the weekly buy this week right here. And there's your daily buy. Well, let's see, yeah, that was that. So there's your daily buy there. It was buy, sell, buy. And we were in the weekly buy, and it gave us that pop. And now they went into a daily sell here and sold it off. And now it's trying to get back into the buy. And let's show you the other one, BABA. There's BABA. And it's been in a sell, but it's gone nowhere from it. It's been in a weekly buy since, wow. Where's it been in a weekly buy on that thing? Right here. Right there, I guess June. There's the weekly buy. So it was in weekly buy here in March. Right there, it went into the buy and then went into the sell. Went into the buy right there on a weekly. And then it went into a sell here after a nice big run up of about 40 points. And then back into the buy again there. It's been in the buy ever since. So there you go. Oh, no, I didn't do that, did I? Really? Damn it. Okay, we'll have to show it to you again. Matter of fact, what we'll do is we will do this for you, too, and this way you can go to the recording and see what I was just mumbling about. So there's BABA. You can look at that. There's Amazon. I'll give you Apple, too. There's Apple. You can look at that. And let's give you, the markets are open. I got to get out of here. And then let's give you one more. Let's give you Mr. Tesla. Right, there's Mr. Tesla. All right, traders. This is Doc from North America. Everybody have a safe and smart trading day. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy